Hey, Good Fox here. So, the creative director for Madden decided to move on. He put out a statement on Twitter. I'm going to give my reaction to Rex Dickson moving on. He was on the Madden podcast. We'll talk through that in a little bit. But basically, let's go through his letter first, and then we'll get on to my thoughts. So, time for a big announcement. After 6 years serving as creative director on the EA Sports Madden NFL franchise, I've decided to move on. By the time you read this, I will no longer be an employee of Electronic Arts. He's already with Backflip Studios. We'll talk about them and that. I mean, basically, it is a mobile gaming company. I don't know too much about it. They got a game, Paper Toss, and that's about it. So that's all I'll talk about Backflip. So the decision was made after many discussions with other leaders on the team. We collectively agree that this was the best path forward. I can't read for everyone involved. This is as much for me as my family as it is about giving the team, the community, and the Madden franchise a chance for new direction. So there were a lot of people, I guess I can give my reaction during the letter too. There are a lot of people that blamed Rex for many of the problems in the game. Now, much of that blame, and there's a lot of blame to go around. The gaming community itself is very, I would say, toxic at times, and we blame game developers. I myself am guilty of this. I yell out, I blame EA for a lot of the issues in their game, and it is rightfully on their shoulders to fix those issues. Now, Rex, about when he leading the direction, like if you've played Madden for the last few years, if you don't think the gameplay has gotten better, which Rex has been in charge of, like you can talk all you want about MUT and franchise and whatnot, like competitive Madden and all that stuff. That wasn't under his command. He was gameplay focused. But like, if you've been playing MUT and Madden gameplay for a little bit, you'll notice over the last couple years since he's been director, I think he did NCAA 14 and Madden 13 through 19. It shows it at the end of his letter here. They've gotten better in my opinion since he's taken over. 18 is much better than 17, and you guys, you have your opinion, but you're not paying attention in my opinion if you think the gameplay is not better this year than it was last year than the year before, and so on and so forth. All right, so we'll keep going with the letter. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone at Tiburon, especially the gameplay team. I also want to thank the Madden community for all the feedback and interaction over the years. Now, the interaction is kind of what we're losing most out of losing Rex. Basically, he communicated with us on the Madden podcast that we talked about. He communicated on Twitter. Now, he got a lot of hate and all those platforms. A lot of developers would shut down, but Rex seemed to embrace it. Rex kind of took our feedback and took it to the team and was always trying to fight for us. And as you see with like the paragraph above that, like the executives and that they were the ones making a lot of decisions that we hated. I've constantly blamed the executives at EA for a lot of the crappy things in EA, or in Madden, the microtransactions, how expensive this game is. A lot of the decisions that were made kind of above his head. Like he was just gameplay. I think he was promoted this past year to lead of the franchise, but and obviously he's now he's no longer with them. So talking about his interaction with the community, like we talked about all these things and he didn't avoid a single question. Yeah, some of them didn't answer he didn't answer some of them to like the best of that like we'd want them to. They weren't answered exactly as we'd like them to, but 2 hours sitting down with us, and this wasn't the first Muttman podcast. The first Muttman was actually, that's a dangerous thumbnail. Maybe I'm probably getting demonetized, but the first Muttman podcast I accidentally screwed up the recording on, but he sat down with us 2 hours and discussed Madden and all the things that we hate about the game mode. All these things, the thresholds, the animations, the Madden launch. I mean, moving it up to July because July's kind of boring right now in the sports world. Stats not going over 90. Like, there's so many things that he talked about, coaching adjustments. He was very forthcoming with how much target passing screwed up this year. It was just a waste of resources. Now, I don't know if that got him in trouble. I don't think it led to anything that like his let go or moving on, but like just being that open with the community about target passing and how it was a miss and a waste of resources was refreshing, because oftentimes you'll see people go the PR route and say, well, it maybe wasn't everything, or maybe the community isn't embracing it like they could, or they could have made a lot of excuses. No, he was straight up on that. And I kind of respect that in other sense. And other things, it's tough with this game because there are so many things that we hated. But I don't know, if you're one of the people I've seen on Twitter and my replies about Rex leaving and what I did and you're saying, good, get out of here, you're the worst thing ever. It's not true. I mean, a lot of people that are remembering the old man, they remember nostalgia. I think in a few years, as this on Twitter, we're going to miss Rexes. Like, we don't know who the next person is. We don't know the devil that's coming next. They could be great, and I could be eating these words, but they also could kind of go more the direction that the EA executives want this game to go. Because Rex fought for us with a passion for the community, for the core gamers, the guys that played this game, guys and gals that played this game, like many hours, the ones that were just grinding away, playing the gameplay. But now, like, maybe they'll go more casual with it or try to bring in more new players by appealing to them. Now, so we saw what the direction they were going with Rex and the executives, and that's kind of where what looks like to me why he moved on. It just isn't what kind of it just looks like what's happening to EA, and I'm a little fearful for the future of Madden. Like, if you would have asked me a month ago, am I hopeful for the future of Madden with the team they have in place now, I would have said yes. Obviously, I've always criticized them for not having enough people on their team, for taking all of our money, making all that cash, and pumping it into NBA Live and back into the shareholders, versus getting more employees and more people on the MUT team to put out more content and more gameplay developers, stuff like that. So that's kind of my opinion on this. Let's keep going with the letter. I call many of you my friends and want to let you know it's the greatest honor of my career to work with you all. That says, please respect this decision is a private one. I will not be granting any interview requests or responding to any tweets on the topic. That's interesting. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's like an NDA or something for that. There's no drama or deeper story here, so he wasn't, let go because he got in a fist fight, it looks like. I've spent more than a decade of my career at EA, 12 years total between Medal of Honor and Madden Medal of Honor. I didn't like that game. That was not a good game. And I think, did he talk about that on the Muttmen that was broadcast? No, that might have been the Muttmen that didn't make it out. We talked about Medal of Honor. But I have nothing but gratitude for the opportunities they created for me. Truly an amazing company to work for. I leave behind a team that includes player-first advocate like Clint, RG, Jake, John White, Kralo, and many others. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, so this is something else. Like, he was on Twitter a lot, and these are all the guys that are also on Twitter a lot, or a few. There's a few on Twitter that aren't listed here. But I wonder if, like, do you think his interactions with the community caused any rift there? Like, we've seen Clint start to tweet less. RG doesn't tweet as much. Jake just basically stopped. John White still puts out a few plays. He never really tweeted a ton. Kralo tweets a lot. So Kralo's like still basically our way forward for the communication with EA. And man, he's going to take a lot of the brute force of the community now that Rex is kind of getting away from it. Or Rex is gone, and now it's all on Kralo. A community that includes leaders like Problem, Mr. Golden Sports, Zan, Lights, and IMAV, just to name a few. Oh, I got curved. I'm filled with hope when I think about the passion of those who will pick up the flag and fight for the future of Madden franchise. Working with EA Sports was a lifelong dream realized. It's truly been an honor. You guys can't see the bottom, but basically he signed it. Rex Dickson, Madden 13 to 19. So, looks like 19 has also got his fingerprints on it. And really, every Madden, because they use so much legacy code, will have his fingerprints on it. But I'm hopeful for 19. After that, we'll see what they do to the franchise, whether they go more casual. But I do firmly believe we will probably miss Rex when he's gone, much like Cups and Anna Kendrick. So, yeah, good luck to the next person in position. I hope it's not a crony and somebody who doesn't understand Madden, but I'm sure we'll hate them just as much as we hated Rex. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about all that. I'm sure I'm missing a few of the thoughts and the talks about the things that I have written down. But yeah, good luck, Clint, going forward, being the main gameplay guy. I think I talked about that. Yeah, let's not unappreciate the people that we have. So good luck, Clint. Good luck, Jake. Good luck, John White and Kralo, and all the others. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching Call to Action. And also, most of all, good luck, Rex, in his future career at Backflip Studios.